All right, everyone, welcome to Critical Builds. So today we're going to do the Goku build. Again, these character builds are almost impossible to make and be optimal because in order to really get a Goku build, you pretty much have to go ninth levels and ninth level spell casting to get like Foresight if you really want like true UI. And even that, like you still have to get a high AC, somehow be able to do punches. Like it's just a little too much and impossible. However, I've been wanting to make a 1 through 20 monk, so I feel this is the best way to make a monk. So I'm going to pair this. So this is a Goku build, but also at the same time, this is just a monk. This is just a monk build. That's the monk of the four elements build specifically, and yeah. So let's start off with the race. I know everyone's gonna say, "Oh, the Goku build, you gotta do ASMR, Super Saiyan. It's in the built-in." I know, but this is a grappling build first, so we have to do Goliath in order to become large, in order to be able to grapple huge-sized enemies, and hopefully you don't face the size after huge, forget gargantuan enemies. So Goliath gives us a lot of key features, powerful build, and it gives us the ability to go large, which is the main really we're taking it. And if you want instant transmission, you're going to take Cloud Giant because it gives you a bonus action teleport, basically a bonus action Misty Step, proficiency times per day. However, I'm going to focus on on damage and go with Frost Chill. It does slightly less damage than the Fire one, but making the target reduce speed by 10 feet is good for this build, just in case they get out of the grapple. Also, something to note is if you want some advantage, Hill Giant is pretty good. However, it caps that large size. So if you can get an enemy prone, then you have advantage on this on that to hit them. So this could be another option to gain advantage. So I would either do Hill's Trumbull or Frost Chill. I'll do one of these two. This is only proficiency times per day, so I don't know. I might actually thinking about it now. Hills tumble is pretty good because if they're prone, then they have to use half their movement to get up, which is better than 10 feet, and they're just missing out on D6 of cold damage. So, in hindsight, I would choose Hills Trumbull because it's no save. As long as they meet the condition, they get knocked prone. Okay. For the big reason we're here at level 5, we gain large form. We can classify this as a transformation. That's how I'm gonna do it. We go large. There's no damage increases. It's just we need to go large so we can grapple better enemies. And then powerful build will give us advantage on checks to escape the grapple condition. But don't worry, we're gonna gain advantage soon enough when we get a level 4. Yeah, I know. Back to alert, especially in this build because we're gonna get 20 decks by the end of this build. So I think alert is just better. Tavern Brawler is all you get is you get to if you roll a 1 on unarmed damage, you get to re-roll it. If that's good enough for you to take it, then take it. But I feel like going first is more important and being able to switch with your allies. Okay, Monk 1. We're actually gonna get a lot of the cool Monk features right from the get-go. 16 AC without armor, that's actually pretty good. A D6. It's gonna be really easy. The summary of this so far is we have the Goliath, species, alert, monk feat, and then these are the monk features. That was just for me, so I knew what I was. That was a good summary. There you go. Monk level 2. We gain focus points. Again, our tactics right now is you can start grappling if you want to. I don't see the purpose. I mean, if you want to hold down an enemy, sure, but the grappler feat is what's going to really make grappling a core part of the build level 4. For now, I just punch, and yeah, and then potentially knock enemies prone, and then you gain advantage on them, and yeah. Okay, level 2 monk features. New feature, amazing. Once per short rest, You once for long rest, sorry, you can regain all your monk features and then all your focus points, and then on top of it, every short rest you gain your focus points back. So, an amazing buff for monks. And then we get Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, Step of the Wind. Use these accordingly when you need to get out of dodge, and Flurry of Blows. What's good is you could stack all these, which is kind of oh no, as a bonus action. Never mind, you can't stack them. But you take the dodge action. This one's going to be a key one. Is they give you disadvantage to hit you. So you can kind of think of this as your UI ability. I know, I'm coping, but that's how I'm gonna flavor it. This is gonna be like your UI ability. You can spend a focus point, and then you take the dodge action, so they have disadvantage to hit you. And at level 3, we're gonna get another feature to help mitigate damage. So think of course, you're always gonna want to use Flurry of Blows as much as possible. But at the same time, for key moments when you're low on HP or whatnot, I would consider using the dodge action. Yeah, and then Step of the Wind when you need to, move a lot to get out of dodge. And our movement, we gain even more movement, 45 feet of movement, amazing. And yeah, when you roll initiative, now with Uncanny Metabolism, whenever you want, you can choose to gain all your focus points back. Amazing. Okay, level 3, Way of the Four Elements. So this is going to be our subclass, and this is going to be like our Super Saiyan. This is going to be our first transformation. We don't have the giant ability yet, so I'm going to say if you want to skip straight to like Super Saiyan God or something, go for it, because we're going to get Godbind from the Broly movie right now, basically, because we get to attack from range, and once we get the Grappler feat here at level 4, then whenever right now you can do it. If you really want to, you have Godbind, because whenever you hit an enemy with an unarmed strike, and you can do it from 15 feet away because this gives you an extra 10 feet, then you could attempt to grapple, of course, saving throw or whatnot, but you're basically getting the Godbind at this moment. And it's really good because even from level 3, you can change your fist to just do acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, which is good. And then if you want to, you might as well just throw them 10 feet away. It doesn't hurt at this level, especially if you're not grappling, and if there's like area of effects you want to push enemies into. And then the whole point of this build, we're getting the Grappler feat here. So what's cool is on your first attack, you could deal damage and attempt to grapple the enemy. Hopefully you grapple the enemy immediately, and then every single attack you have will have advantage from now on. And then at this point, you can just keep punching your enemies with advantage, and Flurry of Blows and all the punches that we get, and everything works out good. We also get Slow Fall at this level, and yeah, it's good. But I would definitely keep your range, attack from 15 feet away. I think that's definitely worth it. Level 5, so we get extra attack and stunning strike. I would actually stunning strike. If if this is a critical combat and it's the last combat of the day, and you think you can afford the key points, it's not horrible to use it. It's a free action. You can only use it once per round now, but at least if they fail, their speed is halved, and you have advantage on your next attack roll. So this is the only reason I say I would consider it right here. Because if you're stunned, you win. Like, that's amazing. But their success, having the speed halved and advantage, actually pretty useful for this build, because whenever we're punching, we don't have advantage until we get them grappled. So at least like on our first hit, we can get advantage to hit, deal damage, attempt to grapple, hopefully get the grapple. And then if their speed's halved, if they somehow break out of the grapple and try to get away from you or something, then at least you don't have to move too far. So I think this is a good feature. And then you can either pair it with, if you chose the Frost ability, then they have even less speed, or if you are knocking people prone. Okay. Primary strategy here, level 5. This build's done. Just like the sorcerer build that I did. This build has what it wants to do very early. So that's it. Starting level 4 now, we have the Grappler feat. You can use Frost Chill or the other Hill Giant ability, make them prone, so it's even easier to. It's like you're stepping on them. you're using like Godbind at this point. And then if you want to cope even more, you can say that the giant ability going large is like going UI kind of with. I won't spoil too much here, but if you read the manga, you know what I'm referring to with this image here on the left. And hopefully you can maintain advantage, hit a bunch of times. You have deflect missiles as your only reaction ability. Use that on crucial attacks to mitigate damage and potentially even deal damage back. It's a really cool ability. That's going to be your defensive option until monk level 8. And leverage that reach. Keep attacking from 15 feet away. You are still a monk. As much as Goku is durable, you're not. You have 14 con, and that's your con for the rest of the campaign. So attack from 15 feet away. Use dodge when you are like probably like on half health or something, so they have disadvantage to hit you with your pretty high AC, and we're gonna bump that AC up on monk level 8 with our next feat. But yeah, here's some optimal classes. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room. You can go 3 levels into Druid, unlock Spike Growth, and kill anything. I mean, seriously. Okay, let's say hypothetical turn 1. Let you cast Spike Growth, and then you use your bonus action to punch. And then let's say you get that grapple in. You have 45 feet of movement, and you're not impeded by the movement thanks to Fast Wrestler from the Grappler feat. So what? 2d4. That's per 5 feet. So 2d4, let's say on average 4 damage, right? Because that's the average. So we're going to be dealing, we have 5 feet, 45 divided by 9, 45 divided by 5 is 9, 9 times 4, 36 damage just from moving them back and forward. And then next round, when you have that bonus action open, you could use Step of the Wind and get so all this movement, and then what? You're doing like 100 damage at level 8. Like, you're gonna melt any single creature your DM throws at you. No, it should not be a combo. It's in the game. It's too good. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just way too good. So you can use it, of course, but I would highly recommend telling your DM first, because I don't think they're gonna like it. But yeah, then there's also, if you want to leverage your range, you can do a 3-level dip into Echo Knight Fighter, especially for when you get that advantage and you rip off with Echo Incarnate, you rip off with Action Surge, and just deal a boatload of damage. On the build last week with Broly, I was considering doing a 4-level dip in Echo Knight. I mean, you could, and do like 12, 4, 4, get that flight and all that stuff, but you missed out on so many. Once you get to like level 12 monk, everything from there is just a banger. So we're talking like high level. You get so many good goodies. So it's hard to leave monk after that just for one round of burst. But again, this is something to consider. But yeah, just remember, you can move people back and forward. You're moving over 15 feet away while they're grappled. And also you can do a lot of pushing if you wanted to. So just remember, if allies have Spirit Guardians up, you can move that in back and forward. If they have Graspadars up, you can move that in back and forward. It's just a grapple build first, and then on top of it, it synergizes well with a Goku build, because there's a lot of cool things you can do. The thing we're missing right now is next level we'll get a little Kamehameha, and then at level 11 we'll get Flight. I know Flight is the first thing you should have. You've been flying since beginning of Z. Well, beginning of Z. So, little beginning, like, whatever. But yeah, so I know. But yeah, okay. Summary of the build. I think we just talked about all the options we can do. I'm gonna go briefly now and just power through. We did this already last week. We know pretty much everything. So yeah, make sure to check out the Broly video. Also, I think the Broly video, I don't know, for a level 8 character, it's good. But as you keep going up and up and up, but it's a cool concept build, and it still works good. It's not like these other crappy builds that I see for characters that just are awful. You have advantage, you have good resistance, you have good defenses, like, it's good. Yep, like I was saying, level 6, this is your Kamehameha ability. If you have enough enemy, I would use this. Like, I said in the Broly build, it's useless because we had no wisdom. But with 16 wisdom, Three rolls of our martial arts die. It's not bad. 20-foot radius. If you get at least like 2 to 3 enemies, I would use this. Unarmed strikes can now be force damage, but remember, if you want to push people, you can only do that with the elemental damage. Evasion, amazing feat. Now, here is something new. So we are going to take Defensive Duelist. This is going to be another like UI ability because with dodge and being Defensive Duelist, we're able to bump up our AC for a proficiency bonus. At level 8, it should be still +3. And then at level 9, it goes to +4. I always forget the levels that the proficiency bonus jumps. But I think this is going to be very useful. However, note, if you are going to level 20 and you know this, I would just max Dex, and then your next 2 feats just max Wisdom, because it's in the end of the day, it's gonna you're gonna want that 24 in Wisdom and in Dex, because that affects your AC, affects your saves, and you want to leverage that +4. So yeah, but also just to note, you have to carry a weapon. But now what's cool with Monk is all your weapons just automatically scale to your martial art die, so it won't be a D6. It should be a D8 or a D8 right now at this level. So your short swords or whatever you're going to carry will be a D8, and just remember, I know, just RP it that you don't have the weapon, but you need to hold the weapon in order to be able to use Defensive Duelist. But yeah, I think this is very worth it. It'll bump up your AC, bump up your defense a lot. Remember to leverage dodge when you can. Okay, level 9, acrobatic movement. It's kind of cool. And now from level 10 and on, we get to banger features. Now we can get 3 unarmed attacks with Flurry of Blows. For patient defense, we gain temp HP now, equal to a roll of our 2 of our martial arts die. So UI gets even better now. And then Step of the Wind is really cool because it can move a large or smaller ally with you when you dash. So that's you can get some allies out of dodge. How many times Goku's done that? And yeah. And then also what's really cool is you can end charm, frighten, or poison condition on yourself just at the end of each turn. That's amazing. So yeah, especially for higher levels. And level 11, finally, we get our flight speed, and this can be like your master. That's it. This is the last. That's not true. We get a level 17. This could be mastered UI because technically these forms keep upgrading. So like now, get the flight speed. Before we got a level 6, the elemental it's an elemental burst and upgrade. So this is the first time the elemental affinity has upgraded, and at level 17 we get the last upgrade. So flavor however you want. Since we took a half feat, we got to take another half feat here. This is the only half feat I can find that was useful. Charger, it can get a little bit more damage, and we're pushing. And since we're going to be a large size, we can push up to huge enemies. That's really cool. That's why I chose this one. And more movement, an extra D8 doesn't hurt anybody, and more pushing. Why not? We're not doing the whole the spike growth thing, but who knows? You can push people off a ledge. You could push people with other spell effects. It's always nice to be able to push as more as possible. Level 13 is great. We get Deflect Energy, for whenever you're using deflect attacks. Now you can deflect all energy types, which is really cool. Now 14, we're proficient every single save, and for saves that are really bad, just keep burning focus points to reroll. Perfect focus. So now we'll get 4 focus points if we don't have any, or 3 or 4. I'm sorry, that's great. But let's get that wisdom now to 18. Helps everything. And now we get our last boost in our transformation. This is really cool. You can gain resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. So depending on who you're fighting, amazing. What I like about this is Destructive Stride. So whenever you're using Step of the Wind, any creature, you kind of get like a mini Spirit Guardians around you. It's only 1 roll of your martial arts die, but there's no save. So still, once per creature, so pretty cool. And then Empowered Strikes, you can add 1 martial arts die of extra damage every single turn. And yeah, this is a pretty cool feature. But the main reason I wanted to keep going Monk, I didn't push a multi-class, is Superior Defense. You're going to use this every single combat. You're basically doubling your HP, and you just need to somehow find Force Resistance, which we can get at the next level. There's 2 feats I would recommend taking here, either Energy Resistance, so you can get Force Resistance, so you resist every single thing in the game, or you can get Combat Prowess to help you turn misses into hits, because The advantage is limited to if you can grapple an enemy, and right now it's grapple is a save. So on big boys, they can just legendary resistance it. But however, your party members they'll probably want to save their legendary resistances for big spell attacks. So honestly, it's a win-win if they burn their legendary resistance on grapple, just a grapple check. So they probably won't. But yeah, and then level 20, like I said, you cap out everything. But yeah, that's the build. So I've made a little chart here that goes with every single thing that we took, just to make it easier to follow along. And then, yeah, so we talked earlier, defensive options, defensive duelist. Could get your AC to 30. If that's not UI, I don't know what is. And on top of that, you can just cause enemies to have disadvantage on you. Again, with 20 at this level, 20 key points. You gain once per long rest. You could just gain all 20 back. Then you gain 20, and you gain all your key points back on a short rest. Yeah, you can just pop UI whenever you want. And invasion is amazing. You will gain resistance to everything, and then you could potentially, with Rune of Energy Resistance, have resistance to everything. Sorry, you gain everything but force, but then with this you can. You have you can get rid of Charm, Frightened, and Poison. You then have Disciplined Survivor. That's probably you have proficiency in every single save, and then on top of it, you can keep re-rolling for those bad. There's really bad saves, like say Paralyzed, or I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there's some really bad things you don't want to deal with. Then you, on top of it, you also have deflect energy, deflect attacks, which then you can use to redirect and do another attack back. So you have a lot of good features here. Monk got a really good buff, and it's why I wanted to do a level 21 through 20 Monk. I hope one day they buff Sun Soul Monk, because if with the Monk chassis right now, and if they buff Sun Soul Monk like they did for Way of the Four Elements, I think we'll get a solid Goku build, solid Saiyan build going with this 1 through 20, because that does like radiant damage. They have the built-in Kamehameha. I hope that they buff that subclass, because right now it's just bad. It's the perfect Goku build for like thematically, but it's just a bad build. And then offensive, we talked about this. Flurry of Blows, amazing. 4 attacks just from that. And then assuming you grapple, and then 4 attacks, and every round you can keep it going. Do it from 15-foot range. You can use your Kamehameha element ability to do some AoE damage. You have Frost Chill, or you have the other one to prone people. Grapple Push. You have this I was talking about. Sorry, Elemental Burst. I got ahead of myself. It's only 3d10, but again, if you get enough enemies in it, it's okay. I wish they made this a little bit higher, but I get why they didn't. And then, yeah, you can fly and swim. I didn't mention that. You get a swim speed. How many times have we seen these Dragon Ball characters fight in the water? I know. But yeah. And then, have anything else? Nope. Okay. Wait. I did. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So that's the build. Please like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. This whole document is in the Discord alongside with this art and the thumbnail art. So, and the character sheet. So please join the Discord. Yeah, until next time.